The following is an address to the nation by Minister for Education, the Honorable Emmalin Pierre, on plans by her ministry to deliver quality education to citizens.
Principal, teachers, students, and auxiliary staff of learning institutions in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Denominational authority.
The following is an address to the nation by Minister for Education, the Honorable Emmalin Pierre, on plans by her ministry to deliver quality education to citizens.
Principal, teachers, students, and auxiliary staff of learning institutions in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Denominational authorities, and very importantly, our parents. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, I extend best wishes and God's blessings for a very fruitful and productive year. I trust that you are very well rested and ready to face the new opportunities ahead, having just completed a long and well-deserved vacation. As you are aware, over the past months, I headed the team at the Ministry of Education, and we engaged stakeholders in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. To date, we have consulted with the executive of the Grenada Union of Teachers, principals, teachers, parents, students, education officials, and other stakeholders, such as the denominational boards, NULO, TAMCC, SGU, University of the West Indies Open Campus, the National Training Agency, the National Accreditation Board, the National Scholarship Committee, and others. The intention is to continue engaging and partnering with our stakeholders as we continue to build a system on pillars of equity, access, relevance, and quality. I am happy that we took this approach because we recognize that there is great value in listening and building relationships. Education is important, not only for intellectual growth, but also for promoting the social and economic advancement of our people. That is why our administration, led by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, continues to make education a priority. In the 2018 estimates of revenue and expenditure, the education budget accounted for 11% of the national budget, a total of $112 million, the largest ministerial allocation. Over the years, our vision has been to build a well-managed education system. This system, though not perfect, has produced outstanding Grenadians who are assets not only to the Grenadian society, but many who are products of this system stand tall in the region and beyond. I therefore publicly recognize the hard work, the dedication of those who have gone before us, giving yeoman service in various capacities, such as our former ministers for education, permanent secretaries, teachers, principals, education officials, and others. As we look to review our vision, focus will be placed on committing to creating global citizens who are equipped to face the challenges of the 21st century and beyond. Over the years, the Ministry of Education has developed and implemented many programs and policies which we now seek to build upon. Work has started on improving the literacy and numeracy levels of our students, making information technology more accessible, facilitating the avenue for a child-friendly schools framework, implementing early childhood standards, embracing curriculum reform that focuses on technical and vocational education and training, organizational restructuring at TAMCC, promoting social and life skills, building and refurbishing schools, increasing student support services such as providing guidance and counseling, meals, uniform, and school books to students, and providing hundreds of scholarships so students can access higher educational opportunities, not only in Grenada at SGU, but in countries such as China, Cuba, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, the United States of America, etc. Indeed, there are far more opportunities for students today than there were years ago. In our National Medium-Term Strategic Plan, one of our goals speaks to lifelong learning. Our administration has made lifelong learning a priority because we are resolute about our nation's economic strength and must get rid of the obsolete belief that a quality education begins at age 3 and ends at age 18. That is why we have started to expand our adult education program. Recently, CXC launched its 2017-2018 examination results in Grenada. At this point, I take this opportunity to recognize the outstanding performance of our students in the 4 CXC regional examinations. The review of the results shows that generally our students performed well. At the secondary level, for example, Grenada has performed above regional average in 16 out of 33 subject areas. Our national average of 70.5%, the highest since 2010, is commendable. To the teachers, principals, education officials, and others who have made sacrifices going even beyond the call of duty, I thank you. I also commend our parents and guardians who lived up to their responsibilities and provided the necessary support that their children needed. I commend you. I now seize this opportunity to call on all parents to take even more seriously the responsibility of guiding and supporting your children. Make them your top priority. I am sure that many ordinary parents today feel extremely proud of the achievements of their sons and daughters. You have a lot to celebrate and to be proud of. But as articulated before, we must never be satisfied with our achievement if in the process we leave some of our boys and girls behind. We must urgently address the problem facing our boys in particular. The statistics are startling. A review of the trends indicate that over the years, while far more boys sit the primary exit examination, far less boys than girls graduate from secondary school at the end of 5 years. We cannot close our eyes to this very worrying trend. Additionally, we note the number of students who did not obtain 5 or more passes in the regional examination. That too we must address. In addition, our unacceptable performance in math and English needs our urgent attention. Already, steps are being taken, but we must intensify our action. We must work towards ensuring that no child is left behind. While this may sound impossible, I wish to remind us that it was Nelson Mandela who said, and I quote, "It always seems impossible until it is done." End of quote. So we must never doubt ourselves. We must never lose hope. For every one of us, whether we are ministry officials, teachers, principals, students, or auxiliary staff, we can all pursue excellence. Hence the reason we are anxious about pressing on towards creating suitable and conducive learning environments and providing incentives for performance. We are aware of the adverse conditions under which teaching and learning takes place. I empathize with the students and teachers affected. But I am encouraged to know that we have come a long way, even if we still have a very long way to go. We will maximize our efforts to move approved projects at a faster pace in keeping with the laws of Grenada and the rules of the funding agencies. In recent weeks, we have repaired some 25 schools across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The Grenada Education Enhancement Project, funded through the Caribbean Development Bank, will help us to begin infrastructural work on selected schools in this year. This includes a new school for St. David's Catholic Secondary School, St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School, and Grenada Christian Academy. Additionally, major civil works will be expected to commence in matters of months on other schools such as Bishop's College in Carriacou. We remain committed to this cause. As we expend millions of dollars on building and upgrading our infrastructure, we must also focus on the process of teaching and learning, which is key to performance. This is why the ministry would soon release the standards by which we will measure and recognize outstanding performance in the education system. These standards will be set for students, teachers, principals, officials, and schools. We must move away from the traditional narrow definition of good school, which we judge by performance in regional examinations or accolades received from outstanding performance in sports. The new definition of outstanding will help us to focus on our vision and our purpose. Our education system must prepare our people to be great assets to our society, well-rounded and ready to face the challenges of the 21st century and beyond, where science and technology are inescapable necessities. Our students must see themselves as being equal to all on the world stage. As part of the ministry's strategic intervention in critical core areas of the curriculum, 31 workshops were conducted in August for teachers in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Some of these teachers participated in the Framework for Action on Mathematics Education, which focuses on the teaching and learning of mathematics in primary and secondary schools. This, we hope, will begin to bear fruits in the not-too-distant future as we seek to turn around the trends of performance in mathematics. To complement this, we have recently started mass training of teachers, principals, and education officials. Particularly, I want to mention that recently a cohort of 20 special needs teachers were enrolled in an undergraduate program based on our intention to place greater emphasis on special needs students. For the first time, over 50 TVET instructors are starting a 2-year program at the Teachers College. Research indicates clearly that teachers' professional development leads to an improvement in students' achievement. Cognizant of this, the ministry has taken an unprecedented and landmark decision this year to admit 53 teachers into the Teachers Education Program at TAMCC to pursue the associate degree in teacher education. This is a significant investment in our teachers and an important step in the forward thrust towards the professionalization of the teaching service. Additionally, one day will be set aside in the month of October for teachers' professional development in all schools in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. As we move forward, I appeal for patience. I appeal for creativity and flexibility as we work together to make it happen. For what we can do now, we do not just for the children, but we do unto God. Since assuming this position, I have noted the public perception of the Ministry of Education. While I believe that some of the views expressed may not always be a true representation of the reality, let me admit that we do have many weaknesses and shortcomings. However, I must quickly add that we also have many strengths. Our focus in the coming months and years will therefore be improving our weaknesses and changing the perception of the general public. So the idea that the Ministry of Education has discontinued the school books program is totally false. But I can understand exactly why many are of this view. We have failed to follow through in many cases on the system for management of this program and have not sufficiently held persons accountable. This perception would not change until we improve the current management systems both in the Ministry of Education and in some schools. This is absolutely necessary to be able to justify government spending $2.6 million this year on school books. During the month of September, we will roll out our one-year plan, during which time we will work with the OECS Commission and the Caribbean Development Bank, as we have already indicated to them our need for technical support in developing a long-term strategic plan for the education sector. We will begin training close to 50 members of staff in the Ministry of Education in a regionally certified customer service program, while at the same time holding a series of workshops for all of our senior managers in the Ministry of Education, focusing on our vision, our purpose, leadership, and management. This month, we would also appoint a National Advisory Committee and an Education Review Board as mandated in the Education Act. We are committing to reviewing the way we do business. I again appeal to all concerned for your full support and for your patience. Change will not come overnight, but we are fully aware that time is critical and that bold decisions will be necessary. As we endeavor to deliver quality education to our citizens, greater focus will be placed on other areas. Areas such as curriculum development and appointment of new curriculum officers, a total of 9, for non-traditional subject areas such as visual arts, music, and performing arts. Developing systems for greater support with stronger emphasis on monitoring, evaluation, and accountability. Engaging students in developing more soft skills which are necessary for the workplace and for daily living. Engaging students more in critical thinking and innovation. Reintroduction of the National School Science Fair, which would afford students the opportunity to apply science and technology, engineering, and mathematics in context, making the connection between school, community, work, and the global enterprise. Increasing the capacity of the instruction of modern languages at the primary and secondary levels. Sustaining the gains and ideals of initiatives such as the Early Learners Program and the work of the Early Childhood Department. Making school accreditation and the National Qualification Framework a reality. Developing a behavior management policy geared at promoting positive discipline and restorative practice. Reviewing our Education Act and developing regulations. And finally, working with the union to make good on our collective agreements. As we look ahead, I call on the general public to give more support to our schools. I also appeal to the private sector to invest more in education, as any investment made in education is guaranteed to pay back great dividends for many years to come. In closing, I take this opportunity to also commend and express my gratitude to the permanent secretaries and staff of the Ministry of Education, for the support you have provided to Minister Moses and I, and for your commitment and sacrifices over the years. So on behalf of us all at the Ministry of Education, best wishes for a successful 2018-2019 school year to all principals, teachers, students, and support staff of every learning institution in the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Let us work together. Let us work towards making every school a school of choice where every student succeeds. May God grant us the wisdom that is needed to make the right decision and the courage to implement the changes that are necessary to facilitate the development of global citizens in the pursuit of their full potential through lifelong learning. May God bless us all.
The preceding was an address to the nation by Minister for Education, the Honorable Emmalin Pierre, on plans by her ministry to deliver quality education to citizens.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.